this is not quite the perfect game for trying out a new setup, but I didn't realize that at the start, because I just moved around some stuff in my room, and so now I'm at a different table, and like with different displays and stuff like that, and it's a bit, still a bit provisional, because I'm missing a few things that I had before, like my Stream Deck. And this game is actually one of the games that that has you know, the that runs in full screen mode, not in a borderless windowed mode. So every time I tab out to do something in OBS, it changes its settings. So I hope this will work without much pain. Voice sounds a little more flat, but well understandable. Okay, that's interesting. I guess that could possibly... maybe I should just listen to how I sound. That would probably help. Yeah, I think it's okay. I don't know, maybe that's just with the loud music or something. But yeah, I guess... yeah, that could be some... I think I have the compressor on. Maybe it's that. Anyway, let's start this game, I guess. This game is dedicated to all those who live in the street and those who try to improve their situation, like Les Enfants de Don Quixote in France, the Pendulo Studios team. Interestingly, this is a Spanish studio from Madrid. Should I be worried that there's no audio? Or is that just because it's the menu screen? Kind of would have expected music or something. But this doesn't look good. That makes me a little worried. I mean, this looks impressive, don't get me wrong.
Another homeless person burned to death. It's the 6th one this year.
And the killer?
Nothing, Henry. The victims are faceless and nameless, and no one cares. Not the media, the police, or politicians.
Some people do care. I care.
There's almost nothing we can do from here. Go talk to them, get their names, count them, offer them our help and resources. Convince them they can have a better life. Take a look at this list. In all these places, there are homeless people we still haven't contacted. We have to continue our work, despite the danger.
I'll do my best. I'll start with the first one and...
Cadway Station? Forget that one.
Wait for me here.
Want me to go with you?
I'd rather you stayed and watched the van.
It's too dangerous. It's on the list because... how should I know? No one has gone there since the hall collapsed, and frankly, I doubt there's anyone still living in that hellhole. Do me a favor. Stay out of trouble, okay?
Need help to start playing. Click on the icon below. I would click if I had a cursor. Okay, seems the cutscenes are without voice or something. Okay, so let's see how this goes. Let's see what we have in... So this is a point-and-click adventure from a company from Madrid. You might know them because they also did the games in the Runaway series. Your ID card as a volunteer for the NGO Children of Don Quixote. Henry K. White. Status volunteer. Registration and signature. Okay. What's this? Cell phone. Okay. Flashlight. Click here to see the hotspots that you can interact with. Okay. If you are blocked, this button will give you small hints to let you progress in the game. You'll need a rope or something. So, okay, that's a little too in my face already. I had hoped they wouldn't give me a hint right away if I just look into stuff. Okay, this is... Yesterday is waiting for you. Underground. Is that the opening video? Yeah, okay. Okay, that's volume control, and I guess that's save. Oh, interface bar minimized. Okay. That's nice, I think I'll keep that. Looks a little more immersive. Okay, let's look at what we can look at. Maybe it's the gigantic eye, maybe not, but the truth is you feel like you're being watched. You could take one of the tiles from the mosaic, but you don't. It's always a problem with point-and-click adventures, isn't it? Like, how do you tell people, you know, like, what to do with things and when, you know, things aren't really important but are more there for, you know, mood or something. There's a suitcase trapped under the rubble that's blocking the stairway. No matter how hard you pull on the handle, you can't get the suitcase out from under the rubble. Okay, but that means if we have something to clear the rubble with or so, we can get to that. So I guess we can walk back out, or we can walk further in. That seems to be all of our choices right now. Wasn't there... Okay, let's... Yes. Okay, those two. I thought there were like two and I didn't click them. Okay, but now let's go without that, hopefully. Your heart skips a beat when you think you found someone, but it's just a mannequin. Whoever lives here has a twisted sense of humor. You're thirsty and your mouth is dry, if only the can were full. Right now you'd drink anything, even beer, something you normally detest. Even though the can's empty, who knows, it might come in handy later. An electrical cable several meters long. When you pick up the cable, an image of Ralph Martinson comes to mind. A student in your university who was found hanging in the restroom a couple of months ago. Loose wires, but we can't do anything with them. Let's look at the mannequin. She seems to be weeping. You're nowhere near being to wanting to give it a hug and console it. Aww. Closed. It can't be opened. There is rubble blocking it on the other side. There's rubble? Let's look at that again. Oh, I guess... Yeah, I guess there was a cave-in or something in that subway station. But interesting that there's still... You know, there shouldn't really be power. If this caved in, probably the first thing they would do to make it safe again would be to, you know, like, flip the breakers. I mean, it makes for a nice mood, but still. Although I guess, you know, maybe someone, you know, hooked it up to some working power line. Ah, okay, that's the other side of the subway car. It took me a moment to recognize it as such. And so this is the platform on the other side. A toy phone. Yoink. Rule number 1 in adventure games, just pick up everything. A telephone with no receiver and with a broken keypad. As things stand, calling from this phone is not an option. So, let's look at the phone first. Toy phone. Just this toy phone, okay. Electrical cable. Cannot. Can I somehow interact with something? Right click doesn't do anything. Oh, I can pull it out. Maybe I can say use the toy phone's receiver and keypad. It occurs to you that you could use the receiver from the toy telephone, but right away you see that it's a really stupid idea. What's this? Bizarre mix of rubble and toys. Could there be children living in the station? Since you're a bit of a nerd, you pick up the battery-operated figure of a character from a video game that came and went almost unnoticed. I wonder if that's like an in-joke, you know, if they made a... You know, if that's a character from like their first game or something. Okay, already did that. Nothing in the pile interests you. Oh, what's this? Piece of wall, and there looks like there's a door behind it or something. There's rubble blocking the door. The pieces are too heavy, you'll never be able to move them. There's another doll hand or something. There's a coin stuck in the slot. You press the coin return button, but the trapped coin doesn't drop. Alright, do we have... Oh! He has a little sword or something. Maybe we can use that. I wonder what game he is from. I guess we can't use him here. Okay. Oh, what's this? A basketball hoop, somewhat broken. Unlike your friend Cooper, you've never been interested in sports. Okay, I guess that's everything here. Oh. You recall the words of June, the director of Children of Don Quixote. Cadway Station? Forget that one. Stay out of trouble, okay? So yeah, we're definitely in the place we shouldn't be. You could take one of the tiles from the mosaic, but you don't. Let's see what's up there. Hello? Whoever lives here really doesn't want anyone to get through this gate. Although you've never been very interested in your body, you value it enough to not try to climb over the bramble. It's interesting, you know, like, if there are plants here with thorns, like, what influence would you really have that nobody get in here? I mean, if it was like barbed wire or something, I'd understand, but otherwise... You assume that it was put there by the people who live here. What are they protecting? It's locked and obviously can't just be pushed open. Can you maybe open locks? Would it be too much to ask for the poet's knife to fit in the keyhole and open the padlock? Yep, it's too much to ask. Oh, I'm going back, okay. Is there anything I can do here? The thorns of the bramble wrapped around the gate brandish their teeth menacingly. It's not that the sight of blood makes you faint, but you'd rather not climb over the gate to avoid hurting yourself on the brambles. Okay, seems that there's nothing. I think what's my problem with this screen is, you know, we came from the right and went up towards the left. But this, like, is obviously rotated now. So we're coming from this side. Because if we want to return, the arrow goes to this side. But it feels like you should be coming from here, because you're coming from the right, you know, originally. And so it feels like they forgot to load the character. If they had just put Henry here, you know, or something like that, then it would all have worked. Even just, you know, like a hint of Henry's head or something like that. But this way it confused me for a moment there. Okay, there's nothing here, I think. Whoops, clicked out of the window. Okay, I guess let's go back. Let's see. Oh wait, was that some bar or something under the... Ooh. An iron handrail, broken. Pick up. You've never exactly been famous for your physical prowess, so you pick up the iron bar to protect yourself from any problems that might come up. So first, let's go here and see if we can use that. You try to use the bar as a lever between the rubble and the suitcase, but you fail to get it out. Can we maybe apply more leverage or something? I have to admit, I've seen this played before. You tie one end of the cable to the handle of the suitcase, then you wrap the other end around the column and tie it also to the handle of the suitcase. After wrapping it around the column, the two ends of the cable are tied to the handle of the suitcase. Hey, that's a weird setup. Bracing yourself with one foot on the column, you pull on the cable with all your might, but you still can't dislodge the suitcase. Now maybe use that. Multiplying your force until the cable finally pulls the suitcase out from underneath the rubble. Oh, okay. I think I clicked once too much here. The metal bar you use to get the suitcase. For now, you leave the metal bar next to the column. That's a dumb idea. The cable withstood the tension you created when you pulled the suitcase out. You don't think the cable is going to be of any further use, so you leave it there. Oh, and we have the suitcase now. Okay, so that's a bit heavy-handed, you know, going, you know, like, oh, this is all fine now, and you just don't need them anymore to, you know, keep you from, you know, piling up infinite items that should be useful in another situation but aren't. You know, I'd rather actually if they had gone with, you know, the cable and the pipe and said, you don't see a reason, this seems like a useful thing, but I can't just carry around every useful thing. I'll wait until I have an idea what to use it for or something, you know. And then maybe, I don't know, yeah, it's a difficult design decision, I guess, to do in a game. Yeah, or the standard solution, of course, that you see in many games is that they say, as you say, that the item's shattered or something. Like, they could have, but I guess, I don't know, maybe they wanted to save themselves doing too many animations. I don't know, like, in this case you would have had to have the animation and then this coming out, and then maybe at that point the cable snapping and the pipe, you know, like flying away and, I don't know, falling behind the rubble or something. But I guess we have the suitcase now, so let's look at it. You open the suitcase and find several things that might be useful to you. A box cutter, a screwdriver, and electrical tape. Nice. Let's see if we can use any of these to force open the lock. As expected, the point of the screwdriver doesn't fit into the keyhole of the padlock. Well, I guess you're not supposed to use screwdrivers for leverage. Or maybe I can use the box cutter on the vines. You try to cut the thorns of the bramble, but it's too thick and hard for this cutter. They give us stuff and then we can't use it. Okay. Maybe use that. You try to fix the keypad on the payphone with a screwdriver, but the connections are totally broken. I guess this will still not work, but just to be safe. Request to you. Yeah, it's a really stupid idea. Oh, can we maybe... hack away at the door or something? Oh, can we unscrew? Ah, escape works to get out of. You're not going to take down the basketball hoop. Okay, if you say so. Oh, can we maybe use it to get at the coin at least? You tried to pry the coin out of the slot with a screwdriver, but you can't get it out. Or maybe with the box cutter. It's thinner. And too flexible to use this lever to pry it out. Maybe I do. I need a strip of tape. Don't I? If you had the phone's receiver, you could use the electrical tape to attach it to what's left of the cable on the payphone. Oh, maybe we can use the box cutter. Yes, okay. Can we use the box cutter on the toy phone? Yes, okay, so the receiver. And now... Okay. It occurs to you that you could use the receiver, but right away you see that's a real stupid idea. Then why does it let us do it? You could remove the batteries from the flashlight to put them in another device, but at the moment you don't have anything that runs on batteries this large. You ask yourself if there's some component inside the cell phone that might help you in this situation. The answer is no. Okay, I guess none of this gets us any further right now. And that's just all the toys we've already seen. Or can we maybe use the screwdriver to hack away at this? Okay. I guess we're going out after all. The dark tunnel you used to enter the station. You've come here with a clear goal of helping any homeless people who might be living here. And you're not leaving until you've achieved it. Can I make a call? No. They want me to use the stuff more creatively. Yeah, I guess. I don't know, can I use the mannequin for anything? You're not going to slash a mannequin. It's a soft, articulated mannequin with internal joints. There are no visible screws. Oops, what does it say? The mannequin doesn't look like she feels like answering phones. Interesting, I've reached the point of just randomly trying every element on the other rather early in the game. An electronic keyboard, most likely a cheap one. Can I take it? You pick up the keyboard even though it has no batteries. Oh. Anything else in here? There are still many toys left in the box. You decide not to pick up any of the toys in the box. Okay, so we have a keyboard. Can I use that? You remember having read about Roy Neary in a scientific journal. Neary was the first person to place a telephone call without using a keypad, by emulating its tones into the receiver with an organ. Unfortunately, the payphone has no receiver and the keyboard has no batteries. What else can go wrong? Okay, so now we can use the screwdriver to open the flashlight. Still don't have anything that runs on batteries. Oh. You unscrew the cover on the battery compartment on the back of the figure and remove the batteries. Haha, because it moved. I'm good. The batteries are exactly the right type for the keyboard. You insert them, press on, and see that the batteries actually work. Are they really called Eon Good? Okay, so now let's try. It occurs to you that you could use the receiver from the toy telephone. Right away you see that's such a really stupid idea. Why? You're still toying with the idea of emulating the number tones with the keyboard to make the call. Unfortunately, the payphone has no receiver, and you have no idea if the line is working. I guess I've already used the screwdriver. Here he only tries to fix the keypad. Okay, we already went there. What do we have that we could use? I think we already tried you, didn't we? Yeah. Suitcase. Can we maybe make notes that I don't know, make sounds. You cut a strip of aluminum from the can, thinking it might come in very handy. Ooh. Maybe you can use that to get at the coin at least. This strip of aluminum is too flexible to dislodge the coin trapped in the slot or to get it out. Let's just try everything everywhere. the aluminum of the can is thin enough to slip between the shackle and the body of the padlock, making the internal cylinder turn, which opens the lock and lets you enter the adjacent room. So how the hell is someone supposed to know that this would work? You know, like, you don't know that your character knows this. And I didn't see, like, any indicator that he knows about lockpicking or anything like that.
A heretic has profaned sacred ground, Choke. What should we do with him?
Have ourselves some fun.
Brothers and sisters! Brothers and sisters!
Silence! I've asked you to come to the Hall of Eternity because the peace of our community has been disturbed. Show yourself, heretic. Who are you?
Let's see, what should we do? Lie, tell the truth. Tell the truth.
My name is Henry White.
Good. That's what appears on your ID. Did you think for 1 minute we wouldn't look in your pockets, Henry White? So, Henry White, let's talk about you. What does your family do?
Since your father is the president and majority shareholder in White Enterprises, you hesitate before answering. If you tell the truth, they'll surely demand ransom and you'll be free. But you also like to do things for yourself without relying on your family money.
Answer or I'll shoot, heretic.
Guess we'll challenge. See what that does.
Why don't you send your dolls to find out?
You're making things very difficult, Henry White. I'm feeling less and less inclined to let you live. What do you say? But let's not prejudge him, brothers and sisters. Let's let him defend himself. Why have you profaned our temple, heretic?
To help.
I've come to help you. You can see that I work for the children of Don Quixote. It's a foundation that helps homeless people by offering them shelter, food, resources, and even identification papers.
Is that so? What do you think, brothers and sisters? Henry White. I've been alive for over 80 years. I can see through your lies. You work for a foundation that works to deprive us of our rights. Look at us. Do we look like we need shelter, food, resources? In what way is all that going to help us, heretic? In nothing! In nothing! Should I shoot now, Joke? Should I tell Boris to shoot Henry White? Or do you think you can come up with a reason why your existence should continue?
Bad conscious, vengeful friend. I have no idea what these choices even mean. Oh, I guess that means my friend is waiting out in the car and he'll kill you all if you hurt me. Bad conscience? Good question. Higher intelligence or solidarity? I think I'll go with the vengeful. Or will I? Bad conscience, higher intelligence. Oh, let's solidarity with what? Ah, I guess let's try that.
I'm the heir to one of the largest fortunes in America. When it's mine, I'll use it to make this world a better place.
What do you think, brothers and sisters, of this bold and vacuous promise?
Okay, that wasn't what I thought about. Okay, so we get to try different ones, I guess. Okay, let's just try it out. But it's really weird, you don't really know... Like, I can't tell at all what these choices are. It's not very well done, I think.
You can't kill me. My death would weigh on your consciences.
You're wrong, heretic. Nothing gives greater moral satisfaction than liberating humanity of a tainted soul.
I don't want to seem conceited, but according to IQ tests, my intelligence is above average.
So, you're intelligent. I never would have guessed. Prove it. Have you ever played chess?
I'm not bad. I'm champion in my university.
White has a chance at checkmate in one move. What is it?
Anyone know how to play chess? So let's see. Bishop is the one at the 3A, I guess. Or the one at the 7D. And so it's E8. Put him here. I have no idea how a bishop... Like, a bishop can move diagonally. I think that makes sense. I think that was how bishops worked, right? Pawn to F7. I guess that's that one. 6. That beats pawn. And that means... Bishop to E7. I don't know if bishops can even beat anyone sideways. I have no idea how chess works. Pawn to F3. I know the basics, but I don't know how, the concrete details work. I know that you move parts around and the parts are limited in how they move. Pawn to F3. Can a pawn jump over someone? That seems nonsensical, I think. Bishop to C8. Let's pick that one. The only thing you'll get by that is that his bishop won't be able to take yours. Try another strategy. Okay. Bishop to E8. With this move, you won't be in a position to take the king. Try another move. Bishop to E7.
This move is famous. The Evergreen from 1852. Bishop takes the knight at E7 and checkmate.
Well done. But it was your memory that saved you, not your deductive capacity. Let's see now. White makes a single move. That, although it doesn't result in checkmate, leaves black without options.
No idea. What even was a rook? Is that the tower thingy? Or the horse thingy? I don't know. I think I'll just randomly click stuff and see what happens. It's also a Rochade rule that a king or queen can swap places with that tower to escape an attack. Rook must be tower, okay. So rook to H4. So that means takes the... That's the king, right? Is there a queen? Where's the queen? The black one. That's a bishop? Oh, king, and that's the queen, I guess. Guess we take the queen. Let's see whether that... If you move there, the black king will take your rook. After you move, the black king can still move to h4 or take your rook. On to
Move
g3.
the pawn from g2 to g3. Easy.
Yes, as you said, it was easy. Let's see if you can resolve this one. Despite its desperate situation, White has a chance at checkmate in one move.
Pawn to f6. What is f6 is here. Because this one beats this one. Then you can't really... Don't think that's it. Knight to c7. Knight was the horse, wasn't it? Yeah. That makes sense. It's just knowing the English names for chess is half of the problem. Queen looks like a hedgehog. Like a hedgehog? What? Knight to c7. Or knight to e8. Yeah, I mean that works. I remember the knight can go like 1-2 straight and then 1 diagonally or something like that. But I don't know how it can beat someone. Let's see. If you did that, the black king would take your knight and would no longer be threatened by any of your pieces. If you did that, the black king would take your knight. A great strategy if it weren't for the fact that in the next move black would take your bishop with the knight at a6.
Why are you making it so easy for me? Move the bishop from d6 to e7 and checkmate.
I don't need to test you any further, Henry White. You are intelligent, there's no doubt. But what is the source of this intelligence? God or the devil? You project kindness, but I perceive something dark in you, heretic. I need to cleanse my soul before deciding your fate.
Life or death.
The coin of judgment has been tossed, Henry White. Let Boris block the exit and make sure that the heretic doesn't escape or bother you while I pray.
He wouldn't dare try, Joke.
As for the rest of you, do me a favor and don't go too far away.
Boris has closed the doors so that you can't leave the station through the tunnel, and he assures you that if you try to escape, he'll shoot.
Well, keep looking then. Find my Danny and call me when you have him or... Hello? Hello? Fuck!
Oh, he has the telephone cradle. Look at Boris, a crazy hobo with a gun. I guess we didn't ask him who Choke is.
Who is Choke?
The reason I'm still alive. How old are you turning today? I would have rotted here if he hadn't come with his energy, his pickpocketing techniques, his drivel, and his will to live.
Do you think Choke is crazy?
A total nutball. He must have been hit on the head or something, because he can't remember anything from when he was young. What a shame. Look, Wax from the candles has dripped on the cake. Sometimes he remembers things. Little flashes having to do with the scar on his hand. With the Y. Something about some cult. Then he loses it, like now. And thinks he's in the past. Funny old bastard, isn't he?
Do you really think he wants to kill me?
Joke doesn't mess around. For him, this is sacred ground, and you've profaned it. If he decides you should die, you die.
Let me go. Please. My family is wealthy. They can pay you a handsome reward.
I used to make $3,000 a day. 3,000! And look at me now. Do you think I give a shit about money?
Are you the person who brought the toys that are on the platform?
Yes. Danny would want toys. Did you know it was his birthday? I'll go pick him up at school. We'll catch the subway at Cadway Station, and I don't want to be late. No overtime today. I'll drop whatever I'm doing and go to meet him. Happy birthday.
What did you do before you lived here?
Me? I set prices for things. Companies used to pay me a fortune for me to tell them if something was expensive or cheap, if it was worth buying or selling at a certain price. I worked a lot. Too much. It wasn't worth it.
Is your name really Boris? You don't have an accent.
I don't want people to remember my real name. I hate names. If Choke calls me Boris, I'm Boris. And many happy returns.
I think I know what that phone call you received earlier was about, and I wanted to say that I'm sorry.
What are you sorry about, eh? There's nothing to be sorry about. They'll find Danny. They'd better. Happy birthday.
I'm the heir to White Enterprise.
I don't want to be.
Okay, so guess that's all we can do. Can we pretend to be receiving a phone call? Oh, what's this? Subway token.
Call for you on this phone, Boris.
Hello? Where is Danny? Where? No, I don't read the papers. What happened at Cadway Station? No. It's not him. That child is not my Danny. It's not him. You understand? That is not my son! We'll keep looking, and call me when you find him. Not someone else. Him!
Oh, okay, but at least we swapped out his phone, so we actually have the real receiver now. That's nice. Can we, like, pretend it's a police alarm? No, we can't. Boris could have posed the mannequin like this, thinking of his wife, then his mother. My guess is if I try to walk out there, he will shoot me. What's this? Oh, that's the interface bar. Never mind. I used that before, I should have remembered that. If you try to open this door, Boris will shoot. I go here. The doors are blocked. You can't get out, okay. Nothing to do here. I guess except talk to Boris.
do these mannequins in the hall symbolize?
Ask Choke. I understand they're his fellow cult members. Didn't I tell you that Choke was in a cult? Are you coming to the party?
Is Choke the one murdering the hobos?
What kind of question is that? Choke? A hobo killer? What if it's me? Or you? Would you like a piece of cake?
Boris, they found your son here in the rubble, didn't they?
It wasn't him. My Danny is alive and he'll turn up. He will turn up!
Okay, he's only keeping me from leaving. Oh, he just told me something about it. And I clicked it away by accident. With the help of the electrical tape, you attach the phone receiver to the payphone. You immediately hear a dial tone. Despite all the years and the damage, the line still works. So let's try to dial something. You're still toying with the idea of emulating the number tones with the keyboard to make the call. However, it drives you crazy to think that despite having fixed the receiver, your brilliant idea won't work without a coin to place the call. Oh, okay. Oh, maybe we can use the subway token? This type of telephone doesn't accept tokens, only legally minted coins. You insert the token and you get the trapped coin to drop. Yay, we have a coin. It's nice that they gave us a subway token. It's also a bit in your face. If you could place a call from this phone, you could pay for it with the coin, but unfortunately that's not the case. Right. So you pick up the receiver, insert the coin in the slot, and... beep, beep, beep. Our vengeful friend.
I'm watching the van, man. It's just that...
Come, Cooper.
But didn't you want me?
They're crazy and armed, you hear me? Be careful.
Come on, Henry. No way I'm falling for that.
The time's come, heretic. Prepare to die.
Oh, okay. So now we're him. The dashboard couldn't be cleaner because just 2 days ago you helped Henry clean out the van. You grab a box of matches and a key that you find in the glove compartment. The garbage gives off a revolting odor like rotten meat. You grab the rag that's hanging from the rim. A hole in the fence, probably the work of hooligans or hobos. Bending a piece of wire back and forth, you manage to break off a length of wire that was already half broken. Okay, I guess we have a few things. Stop domestic violence. You tell yourself that if a girl like that ever noticed you, you'd never raise a hand to her. That's creepy. Too big to pick. else we can go? No. I guess we can't get through there. I like this about point and click adventure games, since a lot of your time, also your brilliant idea wouldn't work because it's 2020 and you didn't memorize any phone numbers. Yeah, but I think this, didn't they say, like, I think they gave a year. I think this is kind of like in the past or something at least. But yeah, where were we? Right, yeah, I like that, you know, like, in an adventure game you spend a lot of time clicking at different objects, and there should be descriptions for them. And using those descriptions to give, you know, to characterize whatever character you're playing as, or characterize the characters around them, or their relationships. I love that. Like, you immediately know, you know, like, it said, you know, he was vengeful, he looks like a tank, basically. So, like, he's a cliche, of course, but, like, having him, you know, make this creepy expression, also sounds interesting. Henry's on the other side of this tunnel, and he's in trouble.
Afraid of the dark, Cooper? Why don't you make a torch? Oh, yeah, now I remembered, because you don't know how! Look, everybody, at the idiot who can't figure out how to make a torch! But no laughing, because it's pathetic! And he's a scumbag. You're a scumbag, aren't you, Cooper? You're pathetic, and you're a scumbag, right? Huh? Mr. Scumbag!
Okay, can we build anything?
For Christ's sakes, Cooper, would you stop blubbering? You're a disgrace to the young pioneers. But you know what? That's over. Oh, now he's wetting his pants like a little old lady. Who'd you learn that from? Your sainted mother?
Okay, he seems to have had a very good life. What's this? Phoebe's find matches. Okay, so we have matches. We have a rag. We have some wire. Key to the back of the van. Ooh. That's the key we picked up. With a small click, the back door pops open. You can't remember what your baseball bat is doing in Henry's van. Well, take it, I guess. You grab the bat. Hey, it's yours anyway. And the gas can. Okay, and now it's kind of... We should be able to use the gas on the rag. No? Well, I guess we can use the rag on the bat. You secure to the rag to the bat with a length of wire. Okay. You soak the rag in gasoline. See, we can do this. And now we use the matches. That's all we should need to light up that.
Playing with fire, Cooper? Are you scared of the dark? Do you want me to change your sheets? Or would you rather I peed in your bed to save you the time, scumbag?
The music is a nice touch. Yeah, it sounds like he has PTSD, definitely. Yeah, they're really good at adding background. Yeah, I think so too. Alright, what can we do here? An iron bar that you could no doubt bend easily. You grab the iron bar, a good weapon to use against whoever is holding Henry prisoner. roll of electrical cable. You grab the cable without asking yourself who could have left it here. Henry. The stairway is blocked by a heap of rubble. You try to move the rubble to unblock the stairway, but there's so much of it and the pieces are so big that you give up immediately. Let's see how he reacts. You recall having seen mosaics like this in some science fiction movie, perhaps. The only thing you can think to do with a mosaic is to bash it with your fist, but you prefer not to. I mean, it's, you know, he's very superficially characterized. The doors to the subway car are closed. You use your greatest resource, brute force, to try to open the doors, but they won't budge. Well, let's use the iron bar. Yay! We bashed in the door. I guess that works. Instinctively, you raise the iron bar to bash in the head of the figure at the other end of the car. But just when you're about to do it, you realize that it's just a mannequin.
Cooper, you scumbag! Why did you hit Johnson, huh? He said what about your mother? There's probably some truth in it. And it's about time you learn to think, instead of resorting to violence all the time. You're pathetic, Cooper.
Oh, so that's Boris's coat? At least it has the phone in the pocket? If this mannequin is the work of Henry's captors, what he told you is no joke. They're crazy and they're armed. Do you hear me? Be careful! You grab the plastic receiver that's in the left pocket. Don't know why. You would like to have a trench coat like this one, but in black leather. There are bullets in the right pocket. Oops, there were. Oh, so we have a pipe and bullets. Will we be building a gun now? Okay. I guess you'd take the trench coat if it were black, but it's not. Okay. So I guess Boris left his coat here, and that's him on his way. Not his wife anymore. Someone put electrical tape on the cable. Don't ask why. You've never considered the possibility of calling to ask for help, so you don't even notice that the keypad is broken. A box of toys. Henry might have brought them for the homeless people, but you don't think so. You decide not to take anything from there. Rubble and toys. How boring. Rubble is blocking the door. With some difficulty, you clear away the rubble blocking the door. And you smile to yourself, thinking that Henry wouldn't have been able to move it even an inch. There's a padlock keeping the doors closed. You summon all of your strength to open the padlock on the door, but you can't do it. Well, can we maybe use the iron bar again? As always, your first thought is to use brute force. You prepare to strike the padlock with the bar, but then you remember.
Have you ever heard of a wedge? Huh? Even if we had the biggest one in the world, we wouldn't be able to get it into your head. Ain't that right, scumbag?
So you bend the bar to make it into a wedge, and you hit the ends with the bat. Oh, clever. Ah. Oh. That doesn't look healthy. A round metal beam, probably a master beam. With a running start, you might even be able to jump and grab it, but then what? How would you get to the other side? A rat in a puddle of something that could be blood. Even though the aroma of death fascinates you, you leave the rat there more for reasons of hygiene than anything else. Hanging from a cartridge belt is a revolver. You want to grab the revolver, but to do that you'd have to cross the pit. One of the few pipes that didn't break when the roof collapsed. It's too far. This beep 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 is driving me nuts already. I think their sound design could use a little bit of work. I mean, again, it's... this is a better game than I could ever make and things like that, but it's still... oh, maybe we can use this as a lasso? If your troop leader, Mr. Hart from the Young Pioneers, was here, he'd probably say something like this to you. And just how do you plan to attach that cable to the pipe, moron? Hart, if there's anyone you despise, it's him. Wait, I have an idea. He mentioned that he doesn't do sports. A broken basketball hoop. Imitating a slam dunk, you jump and hang from the hoop, which breaks off the column because of your weight. Yeah, that looks like a hook. You tie one of the ends of the cable to the basketball hoop. Alright. So now we can hopefully Tarzan this thing. What could possibly go wrong? You take careful aim and... clunk. Yay! Woo! Whoa. That could have gone better. You feel a strange shiver when you grab the revolver. Yeah, and how do I get back? Raw metal beam, probably a master beam. It's too far to make it. Yeah, we're screwed. Yes. Anything else there? When you get up close, you realize that it has several bullet holes in it. Even though the... okay. A thick iron door. You're able to rip the door off its hinges easily. Okay. That should work. You remember the plank you saw at the entrance to the subway car, and... woo! We made it! And we're now armed, I guess. You now have a loaded gun. Be careful. as empty as your stomach. Why did Henry have to go and get into this mess at dinner time? There's nothing to be had, not even a miserable pack of gum to keep your jaws busy. Okay, so I guess we're heading upstairs. Oh, how good they left the door open. As carefully as you can, you stick out your head and...
After cleansing my soul of lies of the malignant one, I have filled it with discernment and have reached a decision. The heretic Henry White shall be subjected to the judgment of God, and thereby shall be flung into the well of truth. If the rats, those diabolical beings that inhabit it, perceive traces of divine goodness in Henry White's soul, they will rise up against him, tearing into his mortal flesh with their nails and teeth until he bleeds to death. In this case, we will rejoice at having led the soul of a just man to heaven. But if on the contrary, Henry White is as diabolical as they are, they will treat him with respect. And in that case, I myself shall, with a single shot, send his abominable, detestable, and repugnant soul to hell. Nevertheless, before flinging him into the well, I shall grant him enough time to ask forgiveness of the High One and prepare his soul in peace. We pray silently for your poor soul, Henry White.
All right, that's the Witchfinder General's method. You know, either they die, that means it's a good person, or they don't die, then we'll have to kill them. Because they're evil, obviously. The guy who has Henry will fling him into the sewer as soon as the other says the word. You have to find a way of threatening the guy who has Henry so he releases him. But first you must get rid of the other madman. The gun that the old madman wants to use to finish Henry off if the rats in the well didn't do it first. Obviously you can't pick it up, but no matter what you do to save Henry's life, you have to prevent the madman at the podium from grabbing that gun. There's something about this madman that reminds you of someone. He's holding a gun, so you can't go up to him and punch him out. You have to get away before he sees you. The Well of Truth is nothing more than a rat-infested sewer where Henry will die if you don't do something. You can't go into this sewer, or can you? Could there be another one in this station? The proof that these hobos are completely crazy. Why couldn't Henry have chosen some other kind of people to help? You could grab one of the mannequins and use it as a shield, but they'd probably spot you before you got to it. Okay, those are all the same mannequins, okay. Is there anything else we can interact with? Okay, I guess we could go back out and see if we can find a sewer somewhere. Very few people would have been able to move that rubble. You're proud of yourself. You demonstrated that you can move it, Hulk. Take a break. Is there any other place you can go up here? No. Nothing new in here. No sewers inside the subway car. Surprise! Nothing here. You You could leave right now through this tunnel, but you came for Henry and you're not leaving without him. Well, I'm not. I just want to go into the sewers somewhere. I guess that's all. I think I'm gonna peek at the hotspots just because, you know, is this a big hotspot or is there something individual that I could click on? But I don't want to do 15 clicks and get the same message. Oh, okay, that counts as one hotspot. And that's the exit. Okay. So what if we use the gun and maybe shoot at the other gun? No. Or shoot at him?
Oh, souls from paradise, look all of you upon Henry White, the heretic who...
Tread on holy ground because he is a scumbag, right, Cooper? Now, what are you gonna do for your friends? Take a piss in the well like a sissy boy? Or are you gonna act like a man for once? Come on, shoot if you got any... No! Shoot! Shoot! You bastard!
Oops. Okay, luckily he's out of bullets. Henry?
Henry?
There aren't any rats. They were laughing at us. At Henry White.
What are we gonna do with him? Henry, you okay?
We're not gonna burn these ones.
Oh, wait, what? We're not gonna burn these ones? So either he imagined the headshot or what? White Enterprises today.
Mr. White, your 6 o'clock is here. It's John yesterday.
Thank you, Lori. My compliments to your stylist. Great suit.
I picked it out, Mr. White.
Ah, then my compliments to Human Resources for hiring you.
You hired me yourself, Mr. White.
Oh, I see. Tell him to come right in, please.
Mr. White will see you now, Mr. Yesterday.
Thank you.
Come over here, John. Have a look at this sunset. My advice to you is, if in your next life you come back as a filthy rich businessman, remember to get an office with a view like this. It's the only part that's really worth it in the end.
I can't even remember what I've done in this life, Mr. White.
Henry. Call me Henry. You used to call me that. How is your mother doing?
She has a slight cold. She seems like a good person. She's been telling me a lot about my life, but I can't seem to remember anything about it. Not a thing.
Give her my best. And let me pick your brains for a moment. What has she told you? You never used to talk about yourself in the old days. What has your mother told you about your childhood?
All there is to tell. Only child, shy, few friends, obedient, athletic. I just wish I could remember.
What do you know about your youth?
I threw myself into my schoolwork. Apparently I'm smart. I have a master's in the history of religion from my mother. She's a worldwide authority on the history of satanic cults. The terrible thing is that I don't remember a single thing I learned in all those years in the university, except what was in the books you sent me in the hospital and what my mother has been telling me.
Do you have a partner?
My mother says I had a girlfriend a long time ago. Suzanne. Now I'm single, it seems.
What has she told you about your likes?
This is strange. She told me that I never liked grapes, but the other day I tried one and it was delicious.
Interesting. To what extent are our likes and dislikes conditioned by our memories? By the way, I love grapes. Everything all right at the hospital?
Yes, of course. Thank you for taking care of the bill.
I didn't do it. My money did. Sometimes it gets tired of rotting in the bank. Tell me, John, have you managed to remember anything about your past on your own?
No. Well, sometimes I get small flashes of random images, sounds. It's happened 3 times now. Watching a movie, looking at my hand, seeing a bluebird.
Curious, isn't it? Tell me more. What was it you remembered when you were watching that movie?
It took place in Paris. Suddenly, I saw, I don't know, a sort of antique shop. A girl.
What came to mind when you looked at your hand?
Well, it was actually the scar on my hand. The image of a strange person appeared in my mind. Some kind of priest in a church. He was talking about killing someone. Me.
What happened when you looked at this blue bird?
It perched on the windowsill in the hospital. Suddenly I saw myself with a beard and long hair in a blizzard.
Oh, goodness, John. I haven't even offered you a chair. I'm very sorry for what happened, John. Very sorry. I can't help thinking that it's all my doing.
On the contrary, I've come here to thank you.
And to get some answers, I imagine. What do you want to know?
This is interesting. So he has the same scar as the guy who died from a headshot and then stood up again. I don't know. And that's of course Henry, but older, now running his parents' company, it seems. So interesting there.
I want to know who I am.
I'm not God, John. If you want to solve that mystery, go to a church and pray. I can only resolve human dilemmas.
Why did you send those books on satanic cults to me in the hospital?
To help your mother re-educate you, and with an eye to a matter that we had between us. One that we still have.
Okay, so he's planning something with a satanic cult, apparently. I mean, you know, like, he said we're not going... He said we're not going to burn these ones. So that means he's obviously, you know, he was volunteering with the homeless people and sent to investigate basically what he had done. So we know that much. So he's, at best, you know, a very, very misguided person. More likely, you know, he's the bad guy. So if he wants to teach him about Satanism, that doesn't really sound very good. Maybe the amnesiac was a Satanist hunter out to get the Satanistic rich guys, and the rich guy wants to find out if he's still a danger? Yeah, I don't know if it's the same cult or whatever. But so I don't really... Yeah, maybe that's it, that he's one of the Satanists and he's after them, or I don't know. White ink.
What connects me to you?
There's a lot, John. You were working for me when you tried to kill yourself. You got too involved in the investigation. You lost your perspective. Lori has the contract, by the way. Ask for her copy on your way out if you want.
What did my investigation consist of?
I hired you to get information about the Order of the Flesh, a satanic cult from the 15th century, in the hope that this would help us trap a present-day killer. My own investigation wasn't going anywhere.
What had you discovered before hiring me?
The Order of the Flesh was founded in 1463 by an ex-priest named Ginés de Orduña.
What was the Order of the Flesh about?
We know very little. They worshipped the devil and combined alchemy with torture in search of God knows what, until the Inquisition began to persecute them.
Did the Inquisition put a stop to the Order of the Flesh?
In 1498, when it seemed like Cardinal Cisneros, the Grand Inquisitor, had them cornered, they disappeared from the map. They evaporated. No one knows how or to where.
What did I find out?
You started doing some research in the archives at the University of Salamanca in Spain, and you found something curious. A missive from the guard Captain Miguel de Somosierra to Cardinal Cisneros, written on the 31st of August, 1501.
What did the letter say?
He stated that on that very morning his troops had traveled to the temple where they suspected the order was meeting, that they went in and interrupted a demonic ritual, that they killed all its members without mercy, and that finally they burned the church, reducing it to rubble and the ashes of satanic cadavers.
The letter didn't say anything else?
Yes, the captain congratulated him for the tip that led them to the temple. Literally, he said, "Thankfully, Your Excellency saw the relationship between the Order of the Flesh and the Holy Cathedral of Our Lady of Paris. That led us to reveal the evil in an apparently holy church."
What relationship is there between Notre Dame and the Order?
That was the next and final step in your investigation. Paris.
What did I find out in Paris?
I don't know. You disappeared there for 15 days. When you finally called, you were very distressed. You told me that you found something very important and that you couldn't tell me over the telephone. So I flew to Paris.
Why didn't I tell you what I found out?
Because when I arrived at your hotel, you had attempted suicide. You were dying. You had swallowed mercury. Plus, you had cut your hand, drawing the symbol of the Order of the Flesh on your skin. It looked like a Y.
How did you know it was a suicide?
You left a note. Forgive me, Henry, but to get to the bottom of this, first I must die.
Interesting.
Tell me about this killer.
He's been killing hobos for years. First he only burned them, but then his modus operandi evolved.
How did the hobo killer evolve?
He stopped burning his victims and started torturing them using satanic rituals.
Okay, so assuming, that Henry is probably still doing what he was doing back then, because usually serial killers don't just stop. That means that he is probably doing some satanic rituals. And, I don't know, testing them? I don't know. Or he is, chasing people. But it could be that it's, people like John that he kills. So maybe John is just the next one and will end up burned as well if we're not careful.
What led you to link him to this cult?
At a certain point, he started carving a sort of Y into the bodies of his victims, the symbol of the Order of the Flesh.
Why are you so interested in capturing him?
For a time, I worked as a volunteer in an NGO called the Children of Don Quixote. They help the homeless. Over the years, I stopped working with them because There's something that can help them more than I can. My money. It's been covering all their expenses since my parents died and I took over White Enterprises. I'm not going to allow anyone to keep attacking these people, John. And you're going to help me.
Why did you hire me?
I hired your mother first, John. But after a while, she came to a dead end. I didn't know where to go from there. She said that if anyone could get further, it would be you. Now you know everything, John. Talk to Lori.
Have her give you your tickets.
What tickets?
Ah, did I forget to mention that? You're leaving for Paris this afternoon. That's okay with you, right?
Yeah, Henry. I need to know who I am.
Exactly, John. Your father would be proud of you.
So his father...
He just went in.
You're sure the suite does not bring back any memories, Monsieur Yesterday?
No, I'm sorry.
Dommage. Well, call me if you need anything at all. Dinner with adult entertainment. You get my drift? Blonde, brunette, bald, black, white, young, oldies, sex spots, fat ladies, dwarves, hussies, spinsters, natural, surgically enhanced, clean or filthy. And 10% discount if I get to watch. Okay?
Thank you, Albert. I'll keep it in mind.
It's a weird hotel. What the heck? Just rattles off the list. Maybe he's possessed by a dead, satanic murderous spirit. Oh, I forgot. What does it say? While you're getting settled in, you notice something strange. You can't put your finger on it, it's just a strange sensation. Okay. Thank God for stream delay. I can just look at the stream to see what I missed. The suitcase is full of clothes that your ultra-protective mother packed for you, and books that Henry sent to help you in your investigation. Isn't that the same books we already had? You're so fascinated by the memories the room triggers to think about anything in the suitcase. A notebook, a fountain pen, courtesy of the hotel. I'm grateful for Hotel Doré's thoughtfulness. As you gaze at the drawing, something comes back to you.
Your secret is safe with me, Monsieur Yesterday. I'll keep it from anyone who doesn't say these two words, including if it is you.
Okay, interesting. Including if it's you. So yeah. I don't know. Maybe... That's what the Spaniards think France is like? Yeah, good question. What did you hide in there? You try to force it open by sticking your fingernails onto the edge, but as one would expect, it doesn't open. I guess we need a key. A letter opener. Really? You pick up the letter opener. Its blade is so dull that it's more like a letter ripper. The letter ripper has struck again. The point of the letter opener, far from sharp, doesn't fit in the lock. Okay. What's these? When you look closely at these pictures, the aroma of mercury comes back to you and you remember. You didn't try to kill yourself. Oh. So someone fed him mercury to kill him. You look behind the three pictures, but you don't find anything. Okay, anything in this room? Peace and quiet. You move one of the balls and... oh no. Now they'll never stop. We'll have this sound. A werewolf howling at the moon. You lift the picture in case there's something behind it, and in fact there is. A wall. It's a very horror hotel, it seems. An original sketch by Albin Grau for the movie Nosferatu the Vampire from 1922. You lift the picture in case there's something behind it, and in fact there is a wall. The Hand by Sean Rogue. Rogue? I don't know how you would pronounce it in French, I guess. You lift the picture in case there's something. In fact, there is a wall. Okay. Guess we can do something with the telephone. I think I'll leave that for later because it seems like something. Oh well, let's just check it. You look under the telephone in case there's a clue, something out of place. Nothing. Okay, we can call our mother, Henry White, or the front desk. Let's look around first, because that seems like something that might drive the story. Rosemary oil. According to your books on Satanism, rosemary was used in different potions to achieve eternal life. Superstition or not, you take it. Reparative hand cream. Will this cream repair the scar on your hand? No, but whatever. Bottle of cologne, expensive no doubt. It's not the first time you've smelled this cologne. It smells like Henry, and without knowing exactly why, you don't like it. The hot water knob. The steam from the hot water is immediately sucked into the extractor fan. That works better than most hotels that I've ever been to. Natural soap. Yoink. You debate whether to take all the soap or not and end up compromising. A clean towel. You take the towel like a common hotel towel thief. I kind of like this compromise this game does. You know, usually, you have text adventures and you have point and click adventures. And usually in point and click adventures, most things are done via dialogue or animations. And although it kind of seems, like, it's probably more a money-saving measure that they didn't animate everything. That, you're just standing there in the mirror and you're not actually taking things and stuff like that. But it gives it kind of an atmosphere. Kind of, like in comic books when you have many, like some authors or some stories, authors don't just have, like the story unfolding in pictures and dialogue to go with it and maybe a short 1 hour later or something caption box. But they have, like the inner thoughts of a character, like in big caption boxes across several pages or something. Ooh, interesting music. And, it just slowly produces an atmosphere. And here it's kind of as well, you know, like a common hotel towel thief. Towel. Soap. Hand cream. Rosemary oil. Letter opener. Notebook. Fountain pen. Alright. How do we get back out of here? I don't know. Oh. Ah, here, yeah. The door in the mirror. But so, like normally I would say, you know, like, why don't you tell more of your story? But in this story, it actually works, you know, there's a lot of internal thoughts that Henry has, and so adding little text lines as you would have in text adventures, where it says you take the towel like a common hotel towel thief, instead of just having your character, you know, like reach up and you know, seem to be taking it, something. Sounds like it would work very well. I'm not too much a fan of these, you know, like pop out a close-up picture and then put text on it. But, you know, it's an interesting design decision. It gives it a bit of a comic book feel, I guess. A welcome card. Champagne and a facsimile edition of Paradise Lost with illustrations by Gustave Doré. Okay, I think, wasn't the hotel called Doré? Suddenly you remember yourself cutting something out of a card, just like this one. You pick it up. You don't know anything about champagne, but this is probably not cheap. A spot of champagne? No, there's nothing to celebrate at the moment. Paradise Lost, illustrated by Gustave Doré, a gem. You leaf through the book and marvel to yourself, it's a real gem. Okay. Oh, what's this? Just a napkin? Yeah, seems like it. Like it's not. Yeah, I guess it's a napkin or a hand towel or something. Oh, what's this? A jacuzzi, more like a hot tub since jacuzzi is just the most famous brand. At the moment you don't care to take a bath. The control panel for the jacuzzi. Does it work? Seems to be bubbling. The relaxing sound of bubbling water. You'll take a bath when you find what you've hidden, not before. The stone is rough. You feel around in vain for some kind of secret mechanism. Wait, the stone is rough, and we have a letter opener that they described as being very dull. Yeah. This is more adventure game logic than in-game logic, but hey. The stone is so rough that it wears down the end of the letter opener remarkably fast. Okay, so we didn't actually sharpen it, we flattened it. Hmm. The balls are still going. That was such a mistake. Okay, I guess let's make a call then. Let's call Mom, I guess.
Hello, son. Have you arrived? Have you had dinner? How was the flight? Have you remembered anything?
The trip was oddly uncomfortable. Mr. White had reserved the entire first-class section for me, and I had 2 flight attendants hovering over me the whole time. It was impossible to get any reading done. Guess what? On the plane, they offered me grapes for dessert.
And?
I tried them, Mom. They were delicious.
How strange. When you were a little boy, you used to spit them in my face. But I'm glad you finally come to like them, son. You've never eaten enough fruit.
What is it about the grapes?
It's very strange, Mom.
You stop there. This is your mother. What good would it do to worry her?
I've stopped remembering things since I met Mr. White. On my last visit, I stored something using a password that I can't remember now. Any ideas what it is?
I don't know, son. Frank for your father, maybe. Elaine for me. Suzanne for that girlfriend you had. Or perhaps something having to do with Satanism? I don't know.
Mom, I don't think I tried to kill myself.
What are you saying, son?
You stop yourself. You can't tell your mother that someone tried to kill you.
It might have been an accident. Imagine that I broke a thermometer and that the mercury fell into a glass and then I drank from it without noticing and...
John, you don't have to reassure me. I know that nothing will happen this time. I trust you. You're intelligent and strong.
Okay, I guess that was the phone call. I wish we could say, like, bye. Instead of just, I don't know, ending the conversation here.
John, how are you doing?
Fine, Mr. White.
Henry. To you, I'm just Henry.
Yes, Henry, pardon me. The hotel is really over the top, Henry. Thank you.
Over the top? You'll never change, John. That's exactly what you said to me the last time.
The front desk clerk is a little odd, don't you think?
I don't remember him. I'll have him fired, all right?
No, don't do that. It's really nothing.
Better. We all have a right to make a living.
Oh, I'll fire him. Okay. That's again, that's kind of in-your-face characterization, He's nice to you, but he's not really, humane, apparently. But I guess, they can do that as well because, John doesn't really know much, and it's the only support he has. So he won't cut Henry off right now and things, maybe I'll remember why I hung out with him. And, outside of the universe, we, playing the game, we've met Henry earlier, and we know that he's probably the killer, and he's up to no good. So, we're more like, okay, what is it he's doing? Not really, is he bad or not?
When I was in New York, you mentioned my father. Did you ever meet him?
Excuse me, John. What do you have for me, Cooper?
A woman of about 50, passed out, drunk.
In one piece?
Almost.
Take her to the generator room. I want her awake and calm. Call me when she's ready. Excuse me, John. Where were we? Ah, yes. Dementia is a very hard thing. But let's not talk about that, okay?
So he met his father. I wonder whether the Cooper he talked to, what was the name of the big guy he hung out with? Is that still the same guy? Was that Cooper? Yeah, I think the scout leader called him Cooper, right? So I guess that was... So we know now that big guy is still hanging out with Henry. and that he'd apparently found a person mostly in one piece. So sounds like she was hurt or something. The question is, did Cooper, like beat her up or something and abduct her? That doesn't sound good. And he says, oh, put her in the generator room and get her calm. Like, is that the next victim? That's not good.
I'm starting to remember things, Henry.
Congratulations. I knew that this trip would help you. I just knew it.
I didn't try to kill myself, Henry. Someone forced me to swallow the mercury.
What are you saying? I'll send a bodyguard. I'll call Lori. I'm sure we have someone in Paris. Don't leave the hotel. Someone will come for you.
The last time I was in the hotel, I hid something.
Interesting. What could it be? Well, call me if you find it. Remember that anything you turn up, no matter how minor, can help us save lives.
I'm not sure, like, I don't even know, does this game have decisions? Or it seems like, since you just tick these boxes, that it's more like, you go through and discover stuff. I don't think you actually have, like decisions in this game, so that's why I just go through it. Otherwise, I wouldn't really tell Henry about this anymore, particularly the hiding place. Maybe even the fake suicide, because, like, if Henry was involved in that in any way, then that would be even worse. Okay. Yeah, Cooper was the PTSD thug. Okay, yeah, that vaguely sounded familiar. Oh, we can talk more with Mrs. Yesterday? Oh, about the father.
What really happened to my father? Was he crazy?
Son, I would have preferred for you not to find out. I told you that your father died in the tragedy at Cadway Station, but that's not what really happened.
Oh, Cadway Station again. Interesting.
As I've told you, your father was the world's leading expert on satanic sects. The best. He was my thesis director. That's how we met. It's true that your father was in Cadway when the station caved in, but he survived. And he stayed there, living in its ruins. I begged him to come back home, but it was no use. He said that the station was the only place he felt safe.
Oh, so we're the child of the guy of, what is his name? Choke. That makes sense. And that might explain why White is, like after us. So maybe there's some family thing there. No, not of Boris, of Choke. Boris is the mad guy, but like the preacher that got shot and then somehow stood up again. Or, I mean, yeah, it could also be Boris, you're right. Yeah, maybe they're trying to mislead us here. Because no, that's a good question. I mean, Boris was looking for his child. And he remembers getting a call saying his child is dead, but the question is, and he said, no, that's not true. So the question is, did Boris' child really live? And we're him? What was his name? Philip? But we're named John. So the name doesn't really fit. And we don't really know anything about what Choke was called. Like, we only know him as Choke. So unless we find out, like, what, you know, like, I don't know. Unless we find out that his name was like John Phillip or something. Of course, they could still pull that one on us.
After the collapse, your father was traumatized. He said that he was being persecuted by a satanic sect called the Unmentionable Ones. The last time I went to see him, I tried everything, but he didn't want to leave. He called me a heretic, and he disappeared without a trace.
That sounds like Choke, doesn't it? I don't think Boris ever called anyone a heretic.
Frank yesterday was a great man, John. A true scholar, a good husband, and the best of fathers. He loved you very much, John. Just don't make the same mistakes he did.
So I guess now we've talked everything with her. I kind of miss that they didn't at least add, you know, like a goodbye that you can properly hang up. That is just end of conversation. NPC no longer needed. Okay, I guess we can now only call the front desk.
What do you know about my suicide attempt?
Nothing. Well, that Mr. White found you and he took you to a hospital in some kind of private ambulance. He made sure no one was the wiser. We don't want any scandals here.
Okay, it's a very confidential hotel, so that's probably why White put us in here again. Because he has us under control or something. And I mean, he can get him fired, so it's probably like one of his company's restaurants, hotels or something.
Did I have any visitors?
Not a single one, monsieur, yesterday. I'm sorry to say that your behavior was very boring. Despite the fact that I dropped the price of my very best girls as much as 20%. Have you had a change of heart?
No, thank you.
25%? 30%?
This is really is it a cliche.
Who's been in the room since my previous visit?
Only Mr. White, the maid, Matthew from maintenance, and me. But not a single guest. Someone has to clean the room, even if there are no guests, sir. By the way, if you're interested in her, be in the room tomorrow when she comes to clean it. She's new and frisky. Free fun dance on the first visit.
This is a horrible hotel.
I just went to leave a small welcome gift on the terrace a little while ago, monsieur.
Okay, yeah, so we found that card and the champagne. Okay, I guess that's our pointer. Maintenance man.
The maid noticed that the extractor fan in the bathroom was not working, so I sent Matthew to fix it.
Oh. The fan wasn't working. Okay.
Mr. White came to the hotel because you called him. He went up to the room, and that was when he found you half dead.
Is this hotel named after Gustave Doré, the artist?
Mais non. It's named after, another Doré, who's also an artist in his own way. The funny thing is that he's a great-great-grandson of the original Doré.
So who wants to bet on what that original artist, that quote artist unquote, what business he was in? This is my guess. So, password.
I know that you have an envelope for me.
Of course, Monsieur Yesterday. But as per your instructions, you have to say 2 words before I can give it to you.
Okay, I guess I guess we can try them all and see what happens.
I'm sorry to say that the password does not include that word.
You tell yourself that it would be stupid to continue giving random passwords. Although you don't know yourself very well, you swear that you would have hidden the password somewhere in the suite.
I'm sorry to say that the password does not include that word.
Okay, there seem to be no funny answers in those words. And we don't say it, so I guess they just take a dictionary or something and leave it at that. Okay. So I guess we'll just leave him waiting there. Okay, so we heard that that thing did not work. One of those extractor fans that come on automatically when you turn the light on. According to Albert, after your last visit they had to fix it. Apparently someone had broken it on purpose. You try to remove the cover with your hand, but it's held in place with screws. Okay, and so that's why we flattened it. So I guess I accidentally did that too early. Like, I would have expected it to, like, to sharpen it. But of course now, if I had gone now and flattened it, you fit the tip of the letter opener into the crosses on the heads of the screws, and according to Albert, they had to fix it when someone had broken it on purpose. If you stick your hand in there, you can say goodbye to your Y. Okay, so can we put something in there? I don't know, probably not the letter opener again. Maybe. You insert the towel with care so that it blocks the movement of the fan blades. And screw the cover back on. But I wanted to keep the screws. And I guess the only thing we can do in here is one bar is enough, okay. So we've already played with everything, so I guess the only thing we can do is, that said, oh, the extractor fan uses it. So let's turn on the hot water. Now the fan doesn't extract, oh, it goes all white. We can't see anything. Alchemy. Alchemy. Now you remember. It was you who wrote the word there by mixing lotion with oil, so it wouldn't be easy to clean off. Interesting that that worked. Okay, so we have one part of the password, I guess, but I think it was 2 words. But let's see if we can... Front desk. Password. Alchemy.
Good. That's one of the words. And the other?
Alchemy. E. I guess it's the Y, but...
No, that is not one of the 2 words.
Okay, so we need to find the second word still. Oh, we haven't looked at this yet, have we? We wish you a pleasant and comfortable stay with us. Card is not in the envelope. Less work for you. Oops. Oh, we can look at more stuff here, okay? The Montreal City Hall was about to buy it and move it to Quebec. Okay. An urban legend? Probably, but who knows? It's closed at this hour. You'll visit some other time. Okay. The L'Hôtel National des Invalides. First thing you visit in Paris won't be that, but rather Notre Dame. Oh, walk back in. Anything else we can look at here? Apart from the Eiffel Tower. Nope. So, hand cream and oil. Writing things down, a great tool for someone with amnesia. The problem is that you still haven't remembered anything worth writing down. Well, we have. We have amnesia. What is it? Alchemy, I mean, not amnesia. Okay, it's probably time for a short break. So let's leave it there for a moment, and I'll be right back. Remember, you know, get up, stretch, or sit down, take a moment of rest if you're doing some work while listening to this stream, and enjoy, drink something, eat something, whatever, you know, check your posture, stay healthy, and don't just keep sitting in front of a, take a break as well, I guess, is what I'm saying. See you in a moment.